Hello everyone. Today I'm here with you to share a tutorial on a tool called Netlytic, which we are using in this course. So let's begin. I will share my screen. All right, so if you go to the website called Netlytic, so the web address is www.netlytic.org. So netlytic.org is where you need to go. Once you're on that site, you will see this. As you can see on your screen, I can just first click on the home screen. There are certain tutorials that you can follow. There are certain publications that are, so research that has been done employing Netlytic. This is from a lab at a Canadian university, and this is a wonderful tool that helps you collect data from Twitter. Well, this has been discontinued, I believe, but still worth a try. But the ones that we're going to concentrate on today is YouTube, because YouTube API gives access to data for researchers and other users. You can also get input from RSS feeds, text files, cloud storage, or Reddit. For Reddit, they would direct us to another tool called Communalytic, which we had in our syllabus before, but we are going to be going for the free version, which is tier 1. So once you register, you're able to get 3 data sets with a maximum of 2,500 records, which is great, good enough for any basic analysis. So I will click on my account, and the first thing I want to do is register for free, or I can sign in with my Google account, which I'm going to go ahead and do. All right. Once you're signed in, as you can see, there's already a data set here, which I had for test purposes analyzed. I'm going to delete that. Where do we start? So as I said, we're going to go ahead and get data set from YouTube. So I go to YouTube and write the word crisis in the search box, and I get a search of a number of videos related to crisis. Keeping in view the nature of this course, I would like to understand, let's say, the southern border crisis that's being talked about increasingly in the media. And I came across Fox News video. Watch Biden makes stunning admission about border crisis. And as you can understand, there's lots of interesting discussion in the form of comments. So 1,943 comments there where people are talking about, uh, discussing this video. And this is where we can find lots of interesting insights. And you also see that there are about 3,500 or 3.5K likes on this video. We do not see the number of likes and dislikes and shares, but that's where we want to get data and see what we can get. So I would like to, once you see here the web address, everything after the equal sign this is the one we were going to get for Netlytics. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that. So I got that. And here I would click on new data set. And within new data set, as I said, like the Twitter or X is discontinued, we want to go to YouTube. Um, and we already saw the YouTube video that we want to analyze. If there's more than one, we would repeat this process and we can get up to 3 data sets in this tool. So the data set name, we want to identify it uniquely. So what do we call it? We can call it the Fox um, border crisis. That's how we want to name it. And the video ID, as you can see here as well, this is after the equal sign. So youtube.com/watch. After the equal sign is the unique identifier of the video. So we already copied that, and I want to paste it here. There it is. And I will click on import. Once I click on import, it starts retrieving the data. There it is. So the records that we got, or the comments, are 1596. That's great. That's a lot of comments that we got from there. I'm going to go ahead and click next. And it is going to take us to, so there's another tab I'd love to introduce here, is the edit, preview, text analysis, network analysis, and the report. We're not going to be doing the network analysis because that's another, you need to understand the basics of that first, which is not the scope of this course. So we're going to restrict ourselves to text analysis and the report function besides the preview. As you can see here in the preview, we are able to see the data set that we've got. And this looks like a spreadsheet, isn't it? So you've got date, user, and the posts, the posts by the users, different users, and then there's a date here. And we can scroll through it and click on other pages, and but this is obviously not the best way to look at data, but it's a great way to at least start and know what we've gotten here. The next thing I want to click on here is called text analysis. Now, text analysis is where we can understand what's going on within our data set. So I click on analyze. Usually it queues it up, or it sometimes does it really fast, but in this case it is queued it. And then there are here manual categories for the analysis of a different form. I am going to click on this as well, and this is going to start analyzing. While this is queued and being analyzed, I'm going to show you the report function. So once I click on the report function, what we can see here is the dataset stats, box border crisis. We've got source YouTube, right? That is correct. And you can see here is that there's a temporal distribution or timeline of when the comments are coming on this video. So we've got, so probably this video was, when was this posted? Um, 2 days ago, right? So 2 days ago. And then, by the way, Fox has 11 million subscribers. So 20th, 21st, 22nd, and 23rd of January, we've got here. The comments were really high, 812 on the 21st, and then they started going down. So this gives you an idea, like any time, it's pretty normal. Whenever a video is posted, people are very interested, they start commenting on it, and then it tapers off. The source of data is, these are the top 10 posters. So 25 or 26% almost are from a user called GPB, right? Now, this is an interesting thing to understand. While we have mostly have our real names on sites like Facebook and LinkedIn, on YouTube, a lot of the users are anonymous. Now, there's lots of interesting things that can happen because of that. Anonymity leads to uninhibited communication. So people post a lot more, but then there's a lot of flaming or swear words and those sorts of things when people are not identifying with their name. And this is the other box we're seeing here. This is the other analysis that got done. We've got, as expected, a lot of swear words. By the way, YouTube is is a place full of swear words that you can see in the comments. So we've got the swear words here. And what kind of swear words? I don't want to say them, but you can see them here. Disgusting. Let me just make this a little bit bigger. Greedy, hypocrite, those sorts of things are in abundance here. So if I look at, for example, crook, we're going to see what kind of, so this is the word that was there, but we can't dig in here, but I'll show you how we can look further into it. Now let's go back to the text analysis tab here. And I want to first show you that same thing. So that's called a tree map, by the way. A tree map is sort of like a thematic analysis, but it's got, in a way, it's a sentiment as well, right? So this is negative sentiment. Swear words are always negative. We can say, for example, the crook word here. So where was it used? Now, this is really powerful. This is impossible to do without this tool, or it's very hard to do in Excel in itself, although there are ways, but Netlytic makes it really easy. Now, when we look at the word crook, 6 of the comments have got the word crook, and you can read here who is the crook being called, who's being called crook here. Um, and people are really, talking about, there's a lot of negative sentiment around this crisis around the southern border that the media is discussing. So if I click on the word idiot, so here's what we see related to that. And we can exactly see which comment and which user said that. Now, again, if I go to visualize, that's not the only thing. We also have some good feelings. For example, when say people say happy, now this could be sarcastic too. Are you happy with, so MS is happy to play the, so this is actually somewhat negative. It's a sarcasm, and that's languages like that. But because this is a text analysis, it brought it in here. But we have other words as well. So if you want to know, when did people use the word proud? So we see that there are 3 instances, 3 comments. Well, how many of them they're proud enough of, Biden, for example? So people are using that word over there, and then we can, trace how it's being used. Let's look at one more example. So if we look at the bad feelings, which are pretty overwhelming in this data set, these are the kind of bad feelings that have been so based on the word, it has been classified as a negative category, and that's an example of sentiment. It is right. So if I look at, for example, terrible again. So there are four instances where the terrible issue, terrible leadership, terrible human being. So, people are talking about that in a very negative sense. Now let's look at the keywords. Let's visualize the keywords. If we look at the keywords, here's where we can get a word cloud. As you can see, the words Biden, border, money, these are standing out very saliently. So if I click on this, I can even do away with this red mark here, check mark. But I can also open this drop down menu and look at the top 50 words, top 100 words. So it gives you a very quick snapshot of what this data set is about. It's very obvious, it's a border crisis, but it became very political. It's very politically charged. So Trump, Biden, money, Joe, people secure, border. And then, of course, we've got other things like, let's say, Ukraine. So if I, let's say, want to know how's Ukraine involved in this kind of discussion, I just click on it. And there are 73 instances where people have talked about Ukraine in this data set and wants to send it to Ukraine, not to our border. Give me the money, go get it back from Ukraine. So there's lots of discussion that's, taking it into another direction, but it's pretty interesting. So this is what a textual analysis is. So we can do a word cloud, we can do a tree map, and we can understand through the report function, when were these comments posted? Who are the top posters on the left-hand side, the pie chart? And the most frequently used words are Biden, money, and border, top three. And then, of course, we've got here these boxes, as you see, they're entry. These are for the network analysis that is not in the purview of this tutorial. Hopefully, you found that useful. Now, if I go back to my data sets, this is where I'll see my data set. Click on it again, and then we see it here. Now, this concludes part one of my tutorial. The next thing I'm going to do here is when you go to preview, we can click on Excel or CSV and export this data file. And we can just put it somewhere on my desktop. I'm just going to put it there. And once it's been downloaded, I can open it here in Excel. There it is. An example of that was shown in another tutorial by me. And here you can see ID, author, description. This is the link GUID. This is the like count for the comments. The link again, the publication date, reply. The title and description is pretty much the same, so you can just keep one and delete the other. And you can, employ all the ways I showed you in cleaning this data. But that's for now. I think this is what I wanted to show you, how Netlytic can help you get data from YouTube and you can analyze it further as well. All right, with this, I'll conclude our tutorial. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for your time and attention. I appreciate it. Hopefully this will be very beneficial for you in doing your assignments. Thank you. Have a great day.